Back on the JJOS OS3, and this is the 2500. We're going to explore the step sequencer that comes inside of this machine. I do not like it. Let's just start it like that. I feel like there's a lot of potential in there. It has a really nice screen to work on and some nice tools. But at the end of the day, I just don't see the use for it. The thing that I find like it's a common theme with the JJOS is that there's a lot of stuff in there that's just not needed. He overcomplicates things. I mean, I appreciate his work, but I would just kind of, if I wanted to give him a tip, it's just like, don't complicate things. One of the things about this step sequencer is that it's not connected to the sequencer on the main screen, which makes me think, why do I want to use it? Or why did you do it like that? Why isn't it just in sync with the step sequencer, with the sequencer from the sequence? Let's go here to an empty sequence. So we have nothing on the sequence, all right? If we go to this pad 11, we have our step sequencer right here. Now, if I play the step sequencer, you see I have already something in there. It doesn't play, and that's obvious because the reason why it doesn't play is because we haven't picked a program. So pick the program, pad 1, program 1 right there. Now you have it, it's assigned to pads. It plays 1 bar only, and you got 2 pages. So I'm playing something here from the step sequencer, but the main screen has nothing in there. So these 2 sequencers are disconnected, okay? If I want to drop whatever I have in here to the sequencer, I just go here to track, and it tells me what track you want to go to, where you want to start. I want to start in bar 1. How many copies? Just 1. Do it. Okay, so now if I go to the main screen, we have that right there. All right, we got it. That's how we put stuff into the sequence. Very easy. Okay. Now, I don't think these two should be separate. I feel like the step sequencer here should just be a reflection of what's in the sequence. Just another screen, just like the grid view is. So whatever you put here is what is on the sequence. And I feel like the step sequencer should be the same thing, but it's not. So that's a negative for me. I feel like this window shouldn't even be here. So how do we put notes into this? Let's go here to the side. You can go like that with the arrow back, forth, or you can do this. This pad goes left, that pad goes right, and all these other pads input velocity. All right, let me go all the way back and you'll see they just put a different velocity to the pad. So if I go here and I want to change the velocity on this step, there you go, I changed it. It always jumps to the next step once you put in a velocity. I don't know if there's a way to keep it on the same step, but in any case, that's what it does. This other pad right here, it deletes the step. Okay, so this is actually a very creative way to use the pads to input events on the grid. You can select all and clear right there. So you can do this by putting in the note, go to the next step you want, drop in the note, go back, and I want to put in like a smaller, quieter. So that's velocity, right? And if I want to go and put a step right there, sorry, like that, there we go. That's easy, right? Let's say I want to put a step right there. I'll just go and do that. It's easy. So this is one way of putting in notes. You could have a nudge function, but you don't have a nudge function in here. I feel like that would be much better to have that than to have some of these other pages or 2-track. This could just be linked to the sequencer, and whatever you put here, it will show up in the sequencer. That's how you do notes. Now that you got the 808 as well, You can clear everything like that. The 808 works starting, so all the pads are the steps in the loop. So each pad corresponds to its step on the step sequencer. First step, second, third, fourth, and so on. So this is very easy to work with. I like it. Kicks. Like, how do I change velocity on the second one? You can't. You have to go out, pick the step, and change the velocity right there. So I know it is what it is. Those are my steps for the snares. Yeah, I feel like I could have a different volume, but you know, you can't pick the step on this 808. It's always full velocity. When it comes to the hi-hats, they're all going to be at the same volume, so I'd much rather do the steps right here, clear. So, you know, I like to have my high notes right there. Oh, and like that. Or you could just go like this. Instead of selecting the step, you just go like, all right, this is a quieter note. This is a louder, quiet, louder, quiet, right? Big, quiet, and that's it. Right, I want that snare to be quiet as well, so quiet velocity. Right, and I want that kick to go away and put a quiet kick in there. Right, and that's how you build things. Unfortunately, you don't have a nudge function. That's the thing that I would erase from the screen. I would just take away the pages. I would take away the 2-track and just have this linked to the sequencer. And whatever I put here, it just shows up on the sequencer. To put steps in and to change velocity, I feel like this works really well. But then if you want to nudge notes, it's kind of like it doesn't have anything, so you have to jump to the grid to do that. And why not have everything here? And plus, this not being part of the sequence just gives you an extra step to then copy this to the sequence, which I feel we could have a move here and have this linked to the sequence. All right, cool. So here is not as easy to change velocity, but you can still do it. You just go into the shift and you go edit, and there's your, and you can't change stuff here as well. It's not as fun to work here when it gets to velocity. So you have to do this manually. You kind of have to do this manually. It's not as fun as I wish it was here on the grid as compared to being here and just, you know, going like, I want this at this velocity, no this velocity, no this velocity. So it's just easy to change velocity on some of these steps. I got these lanes, these 3 lanes. It's nice to see 3 lanes, but I wanted to pick another pad and see the lane for that pad instead of just kind of keeping this lane that I created and then nothing plays because I have nothing on that pad, of course. I have to. So, you know, I feel like there's so much potential here. The view is really nice, but there's no nudge and you can only edit 3 sounds, it feels like. Changing velocity here is not as fun as it is here, but the problem with this, and the thing is that you could be jumping between both to change velocity or to nudge, but the thing again is that this is not linked to the sequence, so this is a sequencer on the side, so if I change the velocity here, it's not actually affecting anything on the main screen or on the grid because these 2 are separate from the step sequencer. So it's just a complete mind bend of workflows. Okay, that was it, man. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed these sessions of the 2500. I'm trying to create a beat tape by the end of the month, maybe release it next month with beats just from the 2500, and that's kind of like the goal of these sessions as well, kind of making beats with it and then releasing something at the end. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and drop a comment below. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one. Peace.